Can you believe I still haven't watched Hamilton? I'm actually really...
I still haven't watched it.
I'm embarrassed to
either.
admit that.
I'm not embarrassed. I haven't watched it.
I haven't watched Hamilton yet, but like everybody is... I really need to go watch it.
You also haven't seen West Side Story.
I haven't seen West Side Story.
I've seen...
But I'm less ashamed about that one.
45% of it.
45%? Which one is West Side Story? Is that the... You know what? I don't know.
I like to be in America.
So yes, Aurea, you do this thing. You do this thing where she downloads the
I love
soundtrack.
soundtracks. Hi, friends.
Hi, friends. I was literally just going to start going. I'd forgotten we hadn't said hello. Hi, I'm Cassie J.
I'm Aurea.
Welcome to...
Aurea
Olua. You know, I still think about how people called you Oreo and it upsets me. Because it's just wrong.
Let's just praise Jesus and keep it pushing.
Because
otherwise, people are going to be upset.
Anyway, welcome to Leave Me Alone. I'm working on it. We're so excited to have you here with us. Mm-hmm. And I've got a question for you, Aurea.
Uh-huh.
Do you... You're not scared? You're not?
No.
Good. I think fear is the worst thing in the world. So I'm glad that it's not the emotion that you're feeling.
Working through it. What's the question?
Do you get embarrassed easily?
Oh, girl. Every time. All
Do
the time.
you?
Yeah, all the time.
You get embarrassed easily?
It's like...
Do you know that this genuinely surprises me about you? I really thought you were going to be like, no, not really.
What? Have you met me?
Apparently not. Apparently I don't know you at all.
It's like this. No, I do. I feel, well, okay, wait. What's the difference between embarrassment and shame?
Oh, we're going to dive into that shortly. But I'm glad you asked it because I don't know. Like, the difference between embarrassment and shame, I think that they're synonymous.
Are they?
I think that embarrassment is momentary and shame is long-lasting.
Yo. I feel both.
Okay.
Quite frequently.
No, let's unpack that.
What?
Embarrassment is momentary and shame is long-lasting.
Yes, but like...
Because the memory of the... Like, you can get embarrassed again, but if it's shame, it's something that you're sitting in and is feeding further actions. The one can be an outcome of the other. Like, shame is an outcome of embarrassment. No?
I don't know. I'm going on this journey with you. I don't know. Because now my next question was going to be, so what's cringe?
Cringe?
Because like, you know how you're embarrassed about something in the moment?
Yes.
And then it has passed, like a couple months down the road. And then you
comes
remember
back and you're just like,
oh. That one.
I can't believe that happened.
That one.
Yes.
So all of these things, I'm not a stranger to any one of these feelings. These feelings are
do you
home
have
with me.
an embarrassing story, like a moment that like really embarrassed you?
I don't know that they are like great big moments, but I've had those little moments that people like to call blonde moments.
Yeah.
Where I've been like pulling on a push door.
Got it.
And then realize what I'm doing. And then you just, you know how you just fake pretend like you
keep it pushing. Keep it pushing.
I've done
totally
those.
meant to do that.
I've had those kinds of moments.
No, but I mean,
I need to think about it.
Think about the story. Okay, I'll tell you a story of mine.
Yeah, maybe you'll jog one for me.
Of something. So to answer the first question, I like to think that I don't get embarrassed easily.
I would say the same about you, actually.
Because I love to like talk to people, engage with people, do things. Like if people are like, we need a volunteer, I'm usually like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Like I'm interested. I want to know. So I think it does take, it's not that I don't get embarrassed. I do get embarrassed, but it takes of course it takes a lot to, I think it takes a lot to embarrass me. Anyway, I've been thinking about this as well because I'm like, do I get embarrassed? Do I not get embarrassed? But I don't think I get embarrassed super easily, but of course I get embarrassed. Anyway, but this is one of the one story which I just think was just so, it was more funny for me, but I can understand how it could be embarrassing. I was in a store and I was actually with my friend Nornji. So I don't know if she remembers this. I mean, it was a couple years ago, like more than a couple years ago, like a decade ago, because that's where we're at now. We've got memories from decades ago. Okay. And we're in the store, and she's buying something. She was buying a birthday present for her brother, and the store that we were in, she was paying for the gift, and the cash register counter was very high up, to like unusually high. So we were reaching up to pay, and on the counter was standing a mannequin. Okay, and it was dressed in the garb from the clothes.
I do not like where this story is going.
And so she is paying for the thing,
right?
And I'm looking at this mannequin. Now I'm not a tall person, okay?
Right.
So like 1.63, 6'4". Not a tall person, and already the count is really high. Mannequin is on the counter, so the face of this mannequin is just so far outside of my like peripheral vision. But so I'm standing, she's paying. I'm looking at the legs of this mannequin, and I'm just like, they're so realistic. And I look at the legs, and there's like hair on the legs, and I'm like, so I reach out and I touch it, like this, and then I stroke it like this, and then I'm combing through the hair on the legs.
Cassandra, at what point are you going to realize this is not a mannequin?
Pulling on the hair,
oh my goodness,
on the legs, and like then I noticed that the cashier
is looking at you.
Nonji is looking at me. Nonji is looking at me like, what are you doing? And I was like, this mannequin is so realistic. And then the mannequin moved, and I was like, oh, and he was like, I'm not a mannequin. I was like, oh my gosh, it's a person.
Even stroking this man's legs.
Just literally.
Pulling his hair.
Just pulling at the hair.
What mannequin have you seen that's got hair?
Well, this is why I was like, I'm so impressed. Like they've really stepped it up. Like I'm very impressed by this.
Were you high?
I was not.
Have you had a glass of wine?
Not at all. Not at all. But I just was like, many questions that came to me afterwards, because I was like, why didn't you move? Like, I was touching you for a long time.
I mean, maybe he was enjoying it as well.
I was touching him for a long
or
time.
maybe shock. He was just like, what's happening?
Combing through the hair, stroking it, pulling it, and he's just like, probably in his head, what's going on? Anyway, so that was something that happened. And
I think while you were speaking, I've thought of, because you were like, you wouldn't think that I get embarrassed easily. And I think because I hate to be embarrassed, I work so hard to like mitigate situations where I could be. Like I try to prevent it.
I love that because it's also the key to overcoming embarrassment is the bounce back as well. Like an embarrassing moment happens, how do you bounce back?
Yeah, I try to not even have to need a bounce back. Let's not even make this happen.
Got it.
And the few times that I know, I'm just remembering now that I've been very, very embarrassed about something is not knowing how to pronounce words, or in the moment just screwing it up. So like long before finesse became like a thing for Nigerians because of the song.
Yeah.
I once pronounced finesse as finese.
Finese. It's good.
Don't know where it came from. Don't know how it happened.
I
said that thing.
I saw this guy on TikTok also, like the mispronunciation of words. And he was just like, the TikTok was like, what's one word that you've been mispronouncing like your whole life? And literally the word was manslaughter.
I saw that one.
Manslaughter.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I'm petrified of like mispronouncing words, or like people's names.
Do you know why? It's because
for me,
you're
it feels
in
like
the MC TV presenter world as well.
I don't know that it's that, but it also just like if you arrive in a space and everyone, I think for me that's one of those things that I'm just afraid of. You arrive in a space where you already don't feel like you belong in this space. Like everyone is bougie, everyone is elite, everyone is like together, and you're just like mind your own business in one little corner, and then I think that's one of my biggest fears. And then someone comes up and strikes a conversation and you're just clueless because like this is not your world. Yeah. And then you go and say the wrong thing or you mispronounce something and then people are looking at you like you're uneducated. Yeah. It's just that feeling
I'm with you. Of like not feeling like, of feeling judged also.
Yeah, exactly.
Of feeling judged. And actually I think as we unpack the thing of embarrassment, that's the key issue. right? Is this fear of judgment, this fear of like, what will people think? What are people going to say? And I think also back to being in school and having to stand up and do an oral, like, you know, you had to do an English oral, or you had to do whatever language you took. They made you stand up at some point, and the assignment was do an oral or do an oral presentation. And then you're sitting there and you're shaking and you're just like, oh my gosh, like, I don't want to speak. I don't want to, obviously not me. Spoke.
Those were usually fine for me. Yeah.
But people are so like nervous to go up, and it's just like, well, why? Because I don't want to embarrass myself. And I wonder like to what extent you stop yourself from doing stuff because you feel like you're gonna be embarrassed.
This
like,
thing you were saying.
I'm too embarrassed to do this thing, so I'm not even gonna try. Like, because what if I fail? What if I
another
make
way
a fool
to think
of myself?
This thing you're saying is, I don't know if you've seen those quotes that say, "Don't be afraid to be a learner."
Yes.
But like, and I don't know about other places. In Nigeria, if someone calls you a learner,
it's not good.
It's not good. It basically means that you are like it has such a negative connotation.
Yeah.
It takes away from the fact that you are actually learning to do something, and it's more like a subtraction of you as a person. Like, you don't know how to do this thing. How can you not know how to do this thing at this age? And like a good example is like, if you are learning how to drive in Nigeria and they put that L on your car, it's late for you. It is.
I feel like that's everywhere.
Late for you, but that's just one of it. If you like going to the gym, like as a first timer at the gym, being a learner at the gym is wild.
Yeah.
Because now everyone, I don't even know if they really are judging you or not, but you feel like they are judging you.
And that's a big thing for me at the gym.
Those people
honestly,
who walk up to you and be like, and want to correct your form or your whatever, mind your own business.
Yeah, that's
even
true.
you one day you were like, mind your own business.
It's true.
Or if you want to correct, there's a way to do it.
Yes, because you're not wrong, actually. Because for me, sorry, you've just dropped something for me, and I'm like, I'm in this realization, and I'm like, this is my problem.
Yeah, it's just that
Can
being
I
a learner,
actually just take
being
my own
ignorant.
advice here for a second? Because it's literally, because for me, like my big, because I mean, I want to do something about my weight. I want to do something about, like, get healthy. And like the biggest hurdle that I'm trying to overcome is going to the gym and not being looked at. Like, I don't want anyone, don't look at me. Like, don't look at me. And it's shame. It's shame. Like, what I'm feeling is shame, and what I'm feeling is like, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. Oh my gosh. I just didn't think of it like this aversion.
I was
interesting.
Especially,
I'm like, what am I going to go and work on now?
Because apart from being embarrassed that, you know, you're just starting this journey, it's also sometimes not knowing how to use a machine.
Not knowing how to use a machine. Not knowing how to... And not wanting to look like a dumbass.
Exactly, not wanting to look like a dumbass.
Yeah.
So the way I did it for me, because I didn't want to be embarrassed, I got a trainer.
Yeah.
At least he will show me what to do, how to work the machines, how to do the right things, like the form and all of that stuff. And I did that for a while. And I remember when he was leaving and I had to now do this by myself, oh my goodness. It was like,
I can't do it. Pedro, come back.
The first day I went in with, and he told me what to, like, he'd done my workout for me. And I was just like, where's Pedro? Why is Pedro not here? Because now you have to rack the things yourself. You have to, and I was just like, oh God, what if I actually don't know how to do? It was so hard. I nearly stopped going.
Yeah, look, and I'm like, now because the thing that I want to do next is like read through embarrassing stories and the task that I have for us is like, how do you bounce back? What's your bounce back here? So like, this is you in this situation. What do you do?
Okay.
But before we go there, I really had a realization moment. Like, I'm going through something right now.
Having an existential crisis right now.
Like, I'm going through a realization moment here because it's a big thing for me. But I didn't clock it as what I'm feeling as embarrassment and feeling shame, and it's causing me not to start. It's causing me not to kick it off and to get going.
Yeah.
Because of why? Because of what people are gonna think.
Yeah.
And here's the other reality, and I think I've said this before: the people don't care about you as much as you think they do.
Yeah, this is true.
People don't people. Yes, people can be mean and people can be not nice,
but I don't think they're as focused. They're not as focused on you as you
think they are.
Because even at the gym, it's true. It's not, I mean, you're the one who's being self-conscious.
Yeah.
You know, but other people are also there working out. I mean, except for the gym bros and gym gals who are actually there to find a partner, that's a different chat.
Or the ones that are there with all of the equipment to film themselves.
Yeah.
And
There's this one guy at the gym. He only does deadlifts.
Okay.
And he loads that thing, and then like he just like he's recording obviously, and then he picks it and drops it so loud everybody in the gym's like, huh? Like I get a fright every single time he drops it. Every single time. And now nobody's working out. We're all looking at you. We're just like, okay,
doing
sir.
It for the gram. Anyway, but thank you so much for this journey. I'm gonna go contemplate my life. But yeah, so I think so. That's number one. I think so. No one is immune from the whole thing of embarrassment. Yeah. So I wanna, like I was saying, I wanna go through some stories. Some of them are really funny. Well, at least I laughed. And the goal for us here is to understand, like, how would you bounce back? Like, you're in this moment, how do you bounce back? Sure. So, as a bartender, I had a guy come in, slurring words, unbalanced, head lolling around. I explained I couldn't serve him, and he nodded and walked off, and came back with his carer, who told me he had a neurological condition and was actually dead sober and would like his beer.
I'm so sorry, sir. Here's a free drink on the house.
Yeah, that's the right way to do that. That's actually the only way.
Don't even explain too much. Don't get into it. You apologize straight up.
You made an assumption. And it was the wrong one.
I mean, but you're a bartender in a bar. You used the
information and the setting
that was in front
around
of
you to make a call.
Yeah. So I'm so sorry. Sir. Here's a second beer on the house.
Yeah. Okay. The worst thing just happened. I won't recover. I just reached into a box of free samples outside a chicken restaurant. Only it wasn't free samples. It was a man holding a box of chicken. His chicken. I tried to steal this man's chicken. Which I think is so funny.
This is like you with the mannequin story.
Exactly. It's like the mannequin story. Homegirl was like, chicken samples. Thank you very much. Meanwhile.
Wait, how far in did she reach? That's what I want to know. How big was the box? How deep was it? How far in did she reach? Because could you be like,
no more information.
I was just chasing a fly.
I'm just sorry. I just wanted to, help you out there.
Look, I don't know.
It's another one where you just have to be like,
keep it pushing.
Where you have to just be like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Actually, I think you can actually be honest with the man.
Yeah, no, you have to
unlike the bartender and the other person, that's a delicate situation.
There's a lot of people, though, who would smack you in the face, like, straight away. Like, so what are you doing?
Like, this one, you can actually be funny about it and laugh about it.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. So I was in the grocery store doing some grocery shopping, and I was once followed by an oddball across the supermarket. I was so frightened, so I started to speed up, but so did he. It ended up with him literally chasing me up and down each and every aisle. Eventually, he caught up, and then he asked if he could have his trolley back.
Wait, was it empty or not?
I think it was getting fuller and fuller as she continued to just...
No, but like when she picked it, was it empty?
Obviously couldn't have been, I don't know.
Because if it wasn't empty, how are you picking someone's trolley?
Someone else's trolley.
This has happened to me before, but not quite in this way. No, like I saw a trolley.
Was it an empty trolley?
It wasn't empty, but like it was right where mine should have been.
Oh, I see.
So I'm just picking something and
I think you and Fiona had the same issue.
I put it in, and then I look at the other items, and I'm like, I didn't buy that. I don't eat that.
This is mine.
And I'm like, wait, what? Oh.
I don't remember the last time I was in a grocery store.
I know.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. A friend, this is funny. Okay, this was so funny. A friend of mine left the bar and couldn't start her car. I tried to start the car. Other people tried to start the car. 2 cops who were passing by saw us. We were in trouble. They tried to start the car, and the car is not working. Turns out the battery in the car is missing. So someone has stolen the battery of the car. So she calls a tow truck and her parents to drive her home. They drive up to her house, and what do they see? Her car. She forgot that she ordered an Uber to the bar. So she stole
Whose car was
a car.
she starting?
She basically stole a car. In my mind, this poor person has come out. Their car is gone. Okay, I'm assuming she returns the car. And then the car comes back, and now the battery in the car has also been stolen. Like, this is a bad night for you.
This is a bad night
for you.
How do you... How drunk was she? How do you forget that
Obviously not drunk, because she was... Actually, I don't know. Because the cops wouldn't let her get in her car drunk.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
They wouldn't do that.
They shouldn't do that.
They shouldn't do that. That's correct. But now imagine now these cops, you've also come back, you've stolen the car. The cops are like, wait a minute. Like,
yeah, the story is...
Now, what? Just to have to explain. The thing is I don't understand how we got here.
That's what, even me, I'm like, the story is...
How did you forget? How did you forget? Anyway, so I was at the park watching my 2 preschoolers on the climber when I spotted a toddler all by himself at the other play area where his parent... I'm going to start this again. So I was at the park watching my 2 preschoolers on the climber when I spotted a toddler all by himself at the other play area. Where were his parents? How could they just leave him? I was absolutely appalled when I suddenly realized that was my kid. I forgot I had a 3rd kid.
How do you forget you had a 3rd kid?
No, but this happened. This has happened before to a friend of mine who also has 3 children.
You forgot?
She just forgot about the 3rd one because she was like, we were talking to someone else and she was describing her family situation and she was like, oh no, I've got a boy and a girl, and I was like, and another girl, and she looked at me like, what are you saying? And I was like, you have another child. And the moment it dawned on her face, she was like, oh, yeah. What? Oh my God. And the 3rd one. The 3rd one is new.
How new is new?
Like a couple months.
Isn't that the one you remember the most? Because that one literally came out of you.
I don't know, but it was very funny.
Is it this thing they say about mom brain?
Isn't that when the baby's inside of you?
I don't know. People say all sorts of things. But then people say mom brain means that you forget things a lot, you're forgetful, you're absent-minded, whatever. But the science also says that actually when you, like, mom brain really means that you're actually smarter. Like if you want to learn a new skill, do it in that period.
I actually think I have read that
Do it in that period. You want to learn a new skill, a new language or whatever, like do it during that period because your brain is more like it's on its A game because it knows that there's a brand new human that
needs to be working overtime. Anyway, yeah, so she forgot.
Sure.
She had a 3rd kid. I thought it was very funny. Okay, my granddad was on a train once and noticed that a passenger had forgotten his bag. He grabbed the bag and ran after him and yelled, "Wait, you forgot this!" and then threw it out onto the platform as the doors were closing. Turns out it was another passenger's bag.
Oh, grandpa.
This for me is like also like shame. The intent is just so good.
Yeah, no, he meant well.
He meant so well.
But
do less.
But not even do less. But
do
like,
less.
Double click. Like he forgot his bag, but then ask, does this bag belong to anyone?
But there's no time. The doors are about to close. The guy is running. I need to make a decision. And he's a grandpa as well, so I'm assuming he moves slowly. So he probably...
Cassandra, that is so ageist.
It's not about being
ageist. You can be 50 and be a grandpa.
It's not about being ageist. It's about using the information and
what information?
Aggregating. He's a granddad. That's the information that I have.
A granddad can be 50.
A granddad could be 50, but chances are more likely that he's older.
You and Dami, hey?
Statistics.
Ageism.
It's mathematics.
Not really.
Shame. This one. This is the last one. My mum once took her jumper off as she was hot in the cinema. We just got there and we're settling in. And it wasn't until a few moments later when the guy a few seats along said, didn't realize it was that kind of show. And she was just sat there in her bra. And she didn't realize.
This is the kind of story that will happen to Cassandra.
What? No, I think I would know if I was sitting in just my bra.
Today.
When?
You
How?
nearly did this thing.
No.
You wanted
no,
to. You
no.
nearly, like you were
It's
this
not
close
the same
to
thing.
taking
It's
your
not the
clothes
same
off.
thing. It's not the same thing. You see, now we must explain. Because
I'll explain.
This
Cassandra needed to change. We're in studio, yeah?
Yeah.
Cassandra needed to change.
Yeah.
And who was here? Zia was still here. Zia and Aziz were both here.
Yes.
And you were like, can I zip you down? And I did.
Yes.
And then you went over there and you were like about to start pulling.
To
and
take it
like,
off.
oh,
and I was
wait,
like, oh, there's still people in the room. Very different. It's not the same thing. It is not the
so
same
when
thing.
I say that this is something that could happen to you, I'm not
0%.
that far off.
0%.
Okay?
How do you take a top off and then not just forget that I'm sitting in my bra? How does that
She
happen?
was hot.
Hey boo. Nah, femo. Nah. Anyway, look, I think the point that we're trying to make here is that
It happens to the best of us.
It happens to the best of us. No one is immune. It can happen to you too. But I think also humor is probably the best way to get through it.
It really is.
And
being
it really
able
is
to laugh
about
at yourself.
100%. Being able to, learning to be able to laugh at yourself is going to be a key way on how you're going to get through embarrassment.
But it's easier said than done.
No, 1,000%.
I think it's just recognizing that even the best of us have these moments as well. And it's okay. Everyone has mispronounced words at some point in time. Everyone has probably walked into a door at some point in time.
My brother did
I've done this.
It's so funny.
There was a tweet I saw 2 days ago where this makeup artist...
Sorry, I'm just thinking about my brother running into the door. The glass door was so funny.
At home?
Yeah, he just moved very quickly.
And
didn't see it, clocked it, boom, fell backwards. It was hilarious.
Sorry, Simeon.
I'm not sorry. It was very funny.
Of course not. This makeup artist posted a picture. She's like, a picture of a screen door, and you can just see like there's a smudge on the screen door. You don't actually know what you're looking at. But then the caption explains, and she goes, which of my clients ran into my screen door on the way out? So this girl had gone to get it. The person who did it replies, y'all, I just got my makeup done and ran straight into the screen door. Like that was her makeup you were seeing.
That's hilarious.
That was her face, literally.
No, it's happened to all.
It happens
happened
to people. It happens.
It's happened to me as well.
It happens.
But
I think you're right about just learning to downplay it or enjoy the moment.
Enjoy the moment. It's okay. And I think it's also if we go back to what we were talking about, wanting to start something, you're probably going to be better at it than you think you are. You're probably going to do better than you think you're going to do. And even if you do embarrass yourself, it's probably not even going to be that bad.
Except there's someone at the gym who's got their phone and is recording you, and now you end up on TikTok. Yeah, look, I'm not going to lie to you. It is possible for it to be bad. It is possible for it to be really bad.
Of course, it is possible. I'm not saying that. I'm saying in the context of it holding you back from something. It's probably not going to be as bad as you. It's not going to be bad as you think it's going to be. So don't let the fear of embarrassment be the thing that holds you back. But I think if you're in this thing where I put my hand in a chicken bucket that was somebody else's chicken, that can go viral, and then then the skill there is learn to laugh at yourself. Learn to laugh it off. The world is having a chuckle.
I think it could be really bad, but for me the distinction there is it's not going to stay bad for long. Maybe you really are clueless about something. You're completely clueless. It's like Klingon to you, right? And you go into this thing knowing full well I'm going to make a fool of myself. I'm going to look like an ass. But the point is, if you keep doing it and you keep on the learning track, at some point you'll stop being a learner, and then it stops being bad.
I'm with you. You stop being a learner.
You stop being a learner.
Look at you. Anyway. So that's our episode on embarrassment. Get over it. You'll be fine. That's my advice for you. It's all gonna be okay. Come say hi on socials. Come tell us your most embarrassing moment if you're feeling brave, or tell us your friend's most embarrassing moment, because that could probably be more fun. We want to hear all the stories. Come say hi on socials, on Instagram, on TikTok. We're also on YouTube, and you can catch us on Apple and on Spotify. Like, follow, subscribe, do all of the things, because that's how we can keep doing this thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, love you, bye.
Okay, love you, bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. Please don't forget to like and subscribe anywhere and everywhere you find your podcasts. Also, you can watch and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Okay, love you, bye.